Hey YouTube, it's Icy. To start off, I just wanted to say that today's episode will be shorter than normal. And first up in the news is Siri. So Siri has actually been somewhat ported to work on both the iPhone 4 and the iPad 2. Now, what the developers did to actually make this work is get the springboard files from the iPhone 4S to work on those two devices. So the iPhone 4 and the iPad 2. And again, Siri kind of works, and I say kind of because the interface somewhat works. However, it won't actually register anything that you say. And that's because Apple's verification servers deny them the right to use Siri. So you can still go inside of the settings application, general, and then Siri, and it looks like the settings general Siri for the iPhone 4S. However, again, nothing really works. I mean, you can still hold down the home button and you can bring up the Siri button, but nothing really happens other than that because you can't give it commands. Also, I did an in-depth iPhone 4S camera review where I highlighted all of the key points and low points for the camera on the iPhone 4S, and basically to give you guys just a quick summary, I said that it's definitely the best camera that I've ever used on any smartphone. However, depending on your particular needs for taking pictures or recording video, you might want to still keep your point and shoot camera or your camcorder because obviously it doesn't have optical zoom and the digital zoom doesn't really work that well, and the auto image stabilization doesn't work very well for taking videos either. So it really wouldn't be comparable to a camcorder with image stabilization. But again, I definitely did go into depth on that camera review. So if you guys want to check it out, then I will have a link to it down below in the more info. I also did a review on Siri, the new personal assistant that is exclusive to the iPhone 4S. So it is absolutely amazing and I love Siri, and I would say that if you were thinking just to buy the iPhone 4S because it has Siri, I would say go for it. If you have the opportunity to buy the iPhone 4S, I mean, why not do it? First of all, it's twice as fast. It has 7 times the graphics capabilities of the iPhone 4. It also has an improved camera which allows for vivid and crisp pictures as well as really nice 1080p video, and it also has some other great things such as a speaker that's twice as loud, and it has a redesigned antenna so you get better reception, and if you're on AT&T, its data speeds are twice as fast as the normal iPhone 4's 3G data speeds. And tomorrow I'm going to work on my full in-depth iPhone 4S review, so you guys should definitely check out that when it is released, because again, I'm going to cover all of the points of the iPhone 4S and summarize everything that the device has to offer and everything that's different from the iPhone 4. And finally, now I'm going to talk about what really happened to the iPhone 5. So I'm sure most of you were looking forward to an iPhone 5, which was speculated to be a device with the larger 4-inch screen as well as 4G data capabilities, a completely different design overall, an improved home button, as well as a couple other features. Well, apparently that idea has been shelved for now, and I'm going to go over the reasoning for that. So to start off, it's easier to talk about how the iPhone 4S came into the picture. So the device was originally set to launch at this year's WWDC in June. However, Apple and the team working on Siri were having an extremely difficult time getting Siri to work properly and trying to integrate it into iOS 5, and that was around February. And on top of that, the iOS team was working around the clock to try and push out a relatively bug-free beta version of iOS 5 by April, so that a public release could be ready by WWDC 2011 in June. However, that just did not happen. And according to sources, they said that Apple would be lucky if they could get a somewhat final version of Siri pushed out to the public by the holidays. Now, I'm sure as most of you already know, the current iteration of Siri is actually a beta version, and it only works with 3 different spoken languages as of now. So Apple either had a choice. They could release the iPhone 4S with a slightly modified version of iOS 4 and without Siri, or they could just wait and push it back until mid-October. And they figured that people just wouldn't want to buy it if it didn't have a substantial software upgrade and if it didn't have Siri. So again, that's why everything was pushed back until mid-October. And all this time they were working on the iPhone 5, and they were actually ahead of schedule, and all of the prototypes that they had tested and built were exceeding all of their expectations. So everything was looking good for the iPhone 5. However, their manufacturing partner Foxconn said that the yield rate of their touchscreen devices wasn't profitable enough for them to continue making them because they were so small. And because they had been making the iPhone 4 for about a year at that point, it was obviously clear that he wasn't talking about that, because he said that it was smaller and that things were more compact. So he could have only been talking about the iPhone 5. And then by September, it became clear that there would not be an iPhone 5 released alongside the iPhone 4S. And now Foxconn said that they are on track to start mass producing the device somewhere around the summer of 2012. And I hope it clarified some things about the iPhone 5 for you guys. I also have a little bit more information on the iPhone 5 on the article that I just went over, and I'll have links to that down below in the more info, as well as everything else I talked about in today's episode, and also links to my Twitter accounts and Facebook fan page. Be sure to follow my Twitter accounts and like my Facebook fan page to be updated more often. And now I'm going to talk about the giveaway really quick. So I did pick the winners, and I just have their comments up on the screen right now. So I'm going to send them out messages, and if they reply to me by the time I make my next video, so by Friday's video, then I will send them out their gift cards. If they don't, then I'm just going to push it back, and I'm just going to do it on Friday's video again, and I'll select new winners from that video if these people do not claim their iTunes gift cards by this Friday. So again, that's it for today's episode. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button to be notified every time I release a new video. Rate this video up if you liked it. If you have any questions or comments, let me know down below in the comment section. And until next time, this is ICU signing out.